So it's impossible to pull off clutch saves with her. And that is a huge issue. However, we are loading into the Tomb of the Spider Queen. And this is going to be Cast Aside versus Zone X.
It will indeed, as we just wait for this one load in. We're halfway there. Of course, the winner of this also does play the Seed 1 in this tournament, which is going to be Arthur Stroitheim, who I believe have just renamed themselves to Team Arthas now.
I think so. I think they're annoyed at people mispronouncing Stroitram like you just did.
All right. I am not Russian, and I do not claim to be Russian.
That's what Witness Protection keep telling you, don't they? Remember, no Russian.
Jeez. Oh, boy.
Dear, oh dear. But yeah, like you said, they're going to be playing Seed 1 Team Arthas. We also have a couple other names in here. Mouse Control are a bit lower down, so they may get into this. Team Synergic are on this side of the bracket as well. The Uchidi Warriors, who come up a lot. But for now, we will load into the first game of the day. Would you like to introduce the team on the left?
The team on the left is going to be Zone X. In the top lane, we have Diat on the Malfurion, Esior on the Diablo, Davsa on the Zeratul, Zangonas on the Tyrael, and down in the bot lane we have Ward 3X on the Jaina.
And on the right-hand side, in the red trunks, it is going to be Cast Aside and playing the Tyrande. It is Freezer playing the Stitches. It's Nomi. The Falsad is being played by Grulum. We're having Glucosa? Is that how you pronounce that? That is Glucosa.
Yeah,
Glucosa on the Ufa. And Coco Brown is on the Valor. I like that name. Very warm and friendly. And Zeratul immediately blinking back behind his wall because he was like, oh, Stitches, I am out of here. Does not want to get called out at all. And we will see the classic I am against the Stitches play of everyone staying as close to their wall as possible until the minion waves are actually in need of attention. Zeratul actually is missing out on some XP. Sorry, Jane is missing out on XP here. She's not near enough for the XP at the moment. Just missed out on like 2 minions.
Yeah, that's an interesting loss to start things off there.
Yeah, they're so scared.
Yeah, they are. They really are. Zeratul's hanging around the top side here. Jaina being super careful.
Indeed. So
doesn't even want to go anywhere near.
Yeah. So while these teams are playing ridiculously passive, oh, they get the hook. The stun misses though. The stun misplaced. They put it on the other side of the wall, thinking he'd land there, but he got pushed to the side and is able to blink away. But while these teams are playing a bit passively, let's have a quick look at some of the earlier talents. Zeratul looks like he's shown us he's going for that cleave build. Like we said before, it's pretty high damage. Oh, nice dodge there by Zangonas. That's a hard name. Jaina doesn't appear to be going for the Blizzard build, is instead going for the regular build that we see most of the time, just pure burst damage. Diablo, a nice talent on this map, Devil's Due, the reduced resurrection to 60, which is great on this map, seeing as it's so small.
Yeah, and then we have an actual gank coming in this mid lane. They aren't going to flip Valor over, just going to knock her away. We do have the Rancor talent coming in for Valor, going into that auto-attack build. And of course, the classic chew your food on the Stitches, and pretty standard elsewhere, Power Throw. The Ranger's Mark, going for that more DPS style, putting that trait down onto enemies more frequently, means more damage in the long run. Nomi missing yet another hook in that top lane there, and they do end up stunning a minion.
Yep, and that minion does fall as they hoped a hero would, but unfortunately they didn't land it on one. They've only managed to hit one hook so far on an actual hero, but he's been pretty much on point. Just been a bit unlucky with max range and, well, aim. And they're going on to Zarganas. Again, he is the target. Zeratul's just passing by in the top there. But Zarganas playing pretty far back, doesn't want to get too caught out. And we can see Nomi and Freeze are just hiding behind the wall, and because they haven't been seen, we will likely see... everyone in every lane playing. Yeah, he's looking for it. There's Jade here as well. They're just going to go for this easy camp.
This is an interesting play coming out from them here. If Stitches and Freezer were to come out like they're doing now, this could be very dangerous. They're going to probably wait for the blink to come in from the Zeratul, or are they just going to fight this one? The hook lands, Hunter's Mark as well.
Oh my god.
That is a dead Jaina right there. They grabbed the soul gems. Going to get the easy camp here, but Diablo is here to try and contest this, and right now this is 4 versus 2. B3 when Zeratul joins, but Diablo charging to a minion just to get out of there. They do throw the Hunter's Mark down onto Tyrael. The hook lands, followed by the stun, And that is a dead Lord of Terror.
Yep, and that is the terror that is Stitches. Even with the nerfs he's received that made it so he hasn't seen too much play, he is still absolutely terrifying if you do get caught out by him. Falstad moving in there, Zeratul taking a bit of damage, but nothing too bad. He's able to back out there. However, there were so many people in this bot lane that a load of XP was missed by the side of Zone X, and because of that, we're actually going to lose even more. Zarganas not going down, able to escape. Last second owl. Is it on cooldown?
Ow?
It's on cooldown, 10 seconds.
Oh,
So Zarganas able to get out of there. And Word Free X just finishing up that wave, and that was nowhere near going to hit, but better safe than sorry by Zeratul there.
Yeah, indeed. One of the best combos I've seen, or combo of players I've seen pull off this Tyrande Stitches composition has been ZPs and Cawthorn Luck when they were on EG. They had an extremely good hit percentage with it and success rate, and unfortunately we're not seeing that coming out from caster side just yet. Nomi, when they've hit the hook, the stun has been good to follow. We've seen it about 3 times out of the past 5, but prior to that, they've been a little bit just off target. Zeratul gaining quite a bit of intel here, does spot them. They're going to try and go onto the Valor here. Diablo and Tyrael here, they charge onto Nomi Stitches. The stun coming in actually misses everyone there. Valor having to vault away, gets taken down. Now Nomi is going to be the next focus of this one, but they are going to return the kill onto Zeratul. Nomi is now safe as well. Tyrande, they even hook the Diablo under tower range. Tyrande could potentially look to get a Lunar Flare. It does land on the 2 of them. The Owl follows up. And now Nomi's hook should be off cooldown soon.
Yep, Nomi
the
does.
Blizzard stops.
Yeah, very nice Blizzard zoning out the members of caster side here. But Ufa went very ham there, chasing down 3 people basically by himself. But that was a nice invade there by the team of Zone X. They were actually able to grab that hard camp, so to put a bit of pressure off that would have been going onto their bot lane. And they went to try and get Falstad there, but he was able to get away.
Yeah, so we're now seeing caster side hand in now too short. They do have 27. 10 on Falstad, 17 on Uther. We're going to see Falstad fly down here to try and get a hand in, but does come up against some resistance. They hook Zeratul. He blinks out of that one. Good, quick fingers from him.
Very much so. So, having a look at some of the talents while these teams just carry on. We do have the double gathering power coming out of Falstad and the Zeratul. I don't think either of them have too many stacks. Zeratul has 0 stacks currently. Falstad has also 0. So we're not seeing anyone get too out of control in the terms of stacking. Nomi once again managing to hook a minion.
But we do have the Web Weavers coming down now for the red side.
Zone X with that group up though, the 5-man hard camp take in order to get some counter pressure on that mid lane to try and deal with the Web Weavers. But that's an interesting strategy to just immediately group up like that. It's kind of cool. And just to focus down this mid Web Weaver as quick as possible.
Yeah, the bot one is only just getting to the tower now. It's taken a few hits. The top one is being assisted by Nomi, and that's their next target here. As Azir is just zoning out Nomi there. Evsar on the Zeratul doing the same. Just poking his head out, see what he can get. And that's the top Web Weaver bursted down. Meanwhile, we're seeing Gruulum on the Falstad. Just clear out that hard camp. It didn't actually do too much, to be fair. Because the 5 men themselves took out the Web Weaver when they could have potentially gone to another one, cleared that one out, and just let the hard camp deal with the Web Weaver in the mid lane. Indeed,
that's what I thought they were doing, when instead they just pushed it out so far. And we did see caster side use their Falstad to clear out the hard camp, which I guess meant they weren't pushing elsewhere. But still a bit weird. We're now seeing the majority of caster side grouping up in this top lane as they know most of Zone X are in the bot lane, so they're just going to push this out a bit. Oh, Falstad taking quite a bit of harassment damage, but able to back out. Heroics are available for caster side, and it appears to be the standard stuff: a Divine Shield, the Putrid Bile, Hinterland Blast, Rain of Vengeance, and the Starfall.
Yeah, they've got quite a nice bit of AoE going on there. Just chucks the Divine Shield onto the Stitches, let him run rampant.
Yeah,
with that Putrid Bile.
Yeah, these talents make a lot of sense as well, taking the Putrid Bile and the Rain of Vengeance in this particular sense, due to the fact that there are so many melee characters. They're going to have to be fighting close range, so Putrid Bile is going to absolutely ruin them in that sense if they try to fight too much. With the Starfall on top of it as well, they're going to have some serious trouble, so actually running into a bit of a problem. They do have their Heroics as well, though. Void Prism, as we were talking about earlier with the Apocalypse combo, is prepared. Water Elemental to go on top of that. Judgment is available, and Tranquility from Malfurion.
I feel as if they could have gone for Lightning Breath on the Diablo due to the setup that they have in maybe the VP and the Water Elemental doing so much slowing. And because they haven't gone for that Lightning Breath, they could potentially lack quite a bit of damage when they're trying to take down this Stitches, this Uther, and if they are able to get a good setup on that back line, Lightning Breath would just melt the 3 squishies.
Yeah, that is something they could have possibly gone for, but the Apocalypse, they were just greeding onto that Void Prism Apocalypse setup.
Yeah.
We'll have to see if it does work out for them, because that is one of the ways they could get back in. Nice combo, but very little follow-up for it. You see the Hammerang come out, only gets hit by the Boomerang part of it, so nothing too bad there. Diablo able to back out.
Yeah, but now these Soul Cages open up in 10 seconds again. Just decide they have enough to get a hand in here. 46 on them. In fact, as does Zone X, so it's going to be about who can grab them first. And it looks like it's going to be Zone X here. Zargonas handing in 43. Diablo just acting as a body shield. They aren't going to get enough in this one though. Diablo does get stunned up here. The VP on the back 3. That's what they were aiming for here. The APOC is going to get channeled here.
Wow, that hit no one. Timed it completely wrong. Diablo goes down to the Hinterland Blast. Zeratul blinking away, but everyone else is getting picked off. Ward gets stunned, taking all the auto-attack damage. He goes down. Zarganas is in full retreat as well, and Zeratul had already mounted up and was able to get away. And that was bad timing there. The Void Prism ended just as the Apocalypse went off and didn't time it correctly at all. It was like a split second either way. And this is something we unfortunately see quite a lot in games nowadays.
Yeah. It was the barrel roll from Falstad, the cleanse onto the Vala, and the Divine Shield onto Uther himself there meant that none of them got stunned up by their APOC. Really, really nice timing there from Caster side as they now grab their hard cap. They got these gems handed in. Now start these Web Weavers push. Caster side deal with this bot lane one first, which you'd tend to think the side of Caster side would then move up to the top, but instead they're going to go for the mid one, do what they can with this, wait for the rotation to come up from zone, either A, catch them out like Nomi might look to do here, or B, rotate and push upwards. Ooh. They're going to go for the hook. There it is, onto the Tyrael. There's one stun coming in. There's the second, but the Blizzard isn't enough to deter them there. The Tyrael does fall. Trait not doing too much damage there to Nomi, and now we're into a 5v4. They can really get some good pressure off in this mid lane.
Yeah, but we are seeing Stitches being so effective on this map just due to the amount of walls that they can hook over. That corner as well, absolutely great. There's so many great angles that we're seeing Stitches to hook, being able to hook from here. On the side of sorry, go on.
Go on. No, go for it.
On the side of Falstad, we do see him taking the static shield talent as opposed to the usual the giant killer that we would see. Just give him a bit of an extra shield on his lightning rod, so giving him some protection, allowing him to chase better, but not helping him out in terms of auto attack. So he's pretty much purely relying on his abilities for that burst damage, which isn't too bad considering he is one off max stacks.
Yeah, he's got enough there, enough power behind him. And then of course, once he gets that level 20 Hinterland Blast, he'll just do so much more damage with it and can really start to get those hits onto Zeratul, onto Jaina in that back line as well, and really start to force her away. But we're going to see a 5-man push here, sieging this bottom fort with the 5 players. Nomi just hanging back, trying to get a hook off here. And the scouting drone from Malfurion will grant them some vision, but it's not enough to get sight of Stitches here. One more level though, and that's where Stitches gets even scarier because he will, of course, grab that fishing hook.
Yep, and that is going to be absolutely terrifying. As if they haven't been dying to Stitches enough already. It's going to be a huge problem. Having a look at the level 13 talents out of Zone X, though, we see a lot of safety talents being taken, which makes a lot of sense. Wormhole out of Zeratul makes a lot of sense in his harassment. Sprint out of Jaina. I think Iceblock might have made a bit more sense due to the fact that she can maybe Iceblock the stun, whereas Sprint is not going to get it out in time. Relentless out of Diablo is great for obvious reasons in this current situation. Iceblock and a Malfurion is great. Hopefully he can block out some of those stuns. And Burning Rage on Tyrael, just allowing him to frontline a bit better.
Yeah, adds that little bit more damage into his kit. Using that Judgment Street in onto a squishy, he's going to be there for 2 seconds or so. That's another 100 damage just shy of. And you never know, that could make the difference in the end here. I don't think we've actually seen a Judgment yet in this game come out from Tyrael, so have to see whether Zargonis is good with those engages and there is the follow-up from the Diablo and the Zeratul, because of course one of your aims with the Tyrael Zeratul comp is that you Judgment 1 and then you VP the rest of the team to just get that burst down straight away without much support there.
Indeed, that is the case.
There's
the fishing hook. The stun did not land, though. Vulnerable is down on him, and Diablo taking so much damage. Hit Lab Blast for the finish, and they get him, picking him off in the last second there. And like we said, the stun didn't land. The Vulnerable did, though, and that was able to drop Diablo low enough. And now Zeratul, stun, into hook, into blink, back over the wall into an immediately bad situation. And, yeah, that didn't go well. It was like, oh no, I'm on the side of the wall with less enemies. Let me blink back over into all the enemies again. Really bad idea, and it didn't work out for him. Like, that's the kind of thing that maybe he had his screen locked, and the fact that his screen moved with him, he blunked to where he was trying to originally, which was over the other wall.
I like that. He blunk.
He blunk. Isn't that the correct term?
No.
Blinked?
You blink. I blinked.
I blinked. Okay. I like blunk. I'm sticking with blunk.
Reminds me of the childhood game Kaplunk.
It does, yeah.
Caster Sight now grabbing their hard cam.
But yeah,
they're going to secure this one, and it's getting to that time in the game now where Caster Sight have a good enough lead that they could potentially go towards that northern part of the map, coined as the throw pit.
Yeah, that boss camp, very difficult to fight in, can be a huge problem. They get the combo off that time, and Diablo goes down. And we were concerned about the fact that Diablo was tanky enough to deal with this, but he clearly isn't.
No.
With that Vulnerable, he is just getting annihilated every time. And something that's really helping with this is the True Shot Aura on the side of Tyrande here. 15% extra attack damage to all nearby allies. It is a great little ability, and it's helping them burst down so quickly. And they're just hanging around, looking for their opportunity. Nomi just going in and getting a nom off there. Just getting some health back and some damage down. Void Prism misses everyone. Nomi, though, is separated. Throws down his bile. There is the Hinterland Blast. Only hits Diablo. Diablo does go down, though. Hook misses. And that was a 1-for-0. Valor got dropped very low, but just gets immediately healed back up.
Yep, and this is going to keep going down, and can they extend themselves here? We still have the Judgment available for the Tyrael if they spot an opportunity, but the Divine Shield is up to directly counter that from the Uther. Nomi's hook is going to miss here. They have the Web Weaver. They could do quite a bit of damage to this core if they wanted, but instead they're going to back out, play it safe. Going to see Falstad just fly up
Shortest fly ever. I'm pretty sure a dash would have made that, but he's using the dash for the chase. Stun does not land, and Ward is in fact able to get away. Nice dodges there.
Yeah, this keep is going to go down as well, though. They have the Web Weaver in this top lane. Bot lane, too, they have some pressure. There's the hook onto Diablo again. Vulnerable coming down. And that is, again, the Lord of Terror going down. Janie getting healed up after dropping super low yet again. And what is the amount of deaths on Diablo? 6 right now.
I think what has ended up happening is the fact that it takes less souls for him to revive means he's up more to die to Caster's side. That's all that's really happened here. It's not really worked out for him at all. Down goes the last keep. There's a GG coming out of Tyrael. They're just waiting in their base.
Yeah.
They know it is over. So we are going to see Caster's side move on to the next round, where they will play up against Team Arthas.
They will, as Diablo, no, he didn't want to put any resistance up here. Core going down to 50%, and Hinterland Blast for good measure doing 12-17 damage. There it is, Nomi Stitches coming up once again. What team was he on where his Stitches got famed? It was Wellmet, wasn't it?
Yes, it was.
Yeah. Bit of a throwback there.
Yeah,
it's not a Sunday. It's not Throwback Thursday, but hey.
Yeah, it was his Stitches and his Muradin. His Muradin was definitely the most famous out of all of them. He's also one of the first people to play ETC back in the day.
Fair enough. I remember Wellmet having quite a bit of innovation on their side.
They did. They were one
with
of the
Hiruka, Asu, and so on.
They were definitely one of the cooler teams to watch back in the day when it came to interesting strats. A role that now appears to have been taken by Arthas, who we are rolling into next.